game, but there were a lot of things that, self-inflicted that, I talked to the team just a minute ago and said, hey, listen, we got to work on that stuff, continue to get better. We got a quick turnaround going. I don't think it was any one play or any one drive or anything that occurred, but, we had a chance to win. And like I said before, these guys are, they're just going to keep playing. And then eventually, we just got to make that one more play.
Coach Gardner Minshew early in the game was just a little off early, had that early interception, but then turned things around. And I thought as the game went along that his play improved. He finished 30 of 45, 339, 3 touchdowns for this team today. Take us through the ebbs and flows of Gardner today on offense.
Yeah, I think early on, obviously, you always want to get off to a good start. And, it was, a good play by Tennessee. I mean, they're a good football team. They made a good play on it. And, he just, they gave up the interception. They wound up scoring and going down 14, and then we got it back to 14-7. And I think that, from that point on, I mean, obviously you'd like to take it back, but, he came on strong and did his best to try to lead us to a victory.
James Robinson had a nice day today, 16 carries, 102 yards, a touchdown, a long of 39, and he just continues to grow as a running back.
Yeah, I mean, we knew about him in training camp. I think, you saw some things today. I think, he's a guy that's going to, keep going forward, getting the yardage. He, makes guys miss. At times I thought the line did a nice job with all the different looks and the things that Tennessee did, and, and even from the protection standpoint. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that we can build on, and we just got to make some corrections, and we all just got to keep pushing to get better.
Defensively, Coach, Jonnu Smith had a couple of big touchdowns early in the game for Tennessee, and another tight end, Ferkser, had a few catches in this game as well. What was it about that group today against the Jags defense, and how did you guys try to slow that down as the game went along?
Well, I thought the first touchdown, I mean, you can't have the quarterback sitting back there that long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was just too long. I think, we wanted to get, be more effective on it. And then, early on in the game, I thought, at halftime we talked about, hey, listen, we've got to do a better job on third downs. They were in so many manageable third downs, and it puts a lot of pressure on, what they can do for you. And, we couldn't really pin our ears back and go. And I thought we did a better job in the second half, obviously, getting out. But, some of the man coverage stuff, they got some guys that can run. And, if they have a little time, then they can create a little bit more distance. But we're doing everything we can.
All right, Coach, final thought here. Some special teams issues today. The muffed kickoff return, the kick right before halftime hit the up man and set up the short field for the field goal for Tennessee, and the missed extra point today. And then a couple of pass interference calls were key in this game. I'm sure those are part of the self-inflicted wounds you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you get those, and there's other things. We took a sack, and a 20-yard loss there that hurt. I thought we were moving the ball well. There's like I said, there's just so many things that there's good things and the things we need to improve on. And you're exactly right. And those things, are we should be able to improve upon those things. We practiced hard, we worked hard not to make those mistakes, but it happened, and that's why we're on the short side of the score.
All right, Coach, travel safe. Talk to you on a short week. There
he
is, head coach Doug Marrone. First word with the head coach, presented by Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve. We're back in a moment. Mike Dempsey is with us. Jeff Lageman will join us from the broadcast booth as well. We'll go inside the Jaguars locker room and hear from some contributors today for the Jaguars in a loss to the Tennessee Titans, 33-30. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio. Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, the CSI Companies is one of the fastest-growing staffing firms in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI knows how important
we made some mistakes early in this game. And we made some mistakes, throughout. We did some good things, but, at the end of the day, we fell short. So, there's some things I think that, we can improve upon, obviously, and we will. And, we don't have a lot of time because we got this quick turnaround. So, credit to Tennessee. They were able to make some plays, and at the end of the day, we weren't able to make a play to get us over the top or stop a play. So that's where we are.
Thanks, Coach. All right, let's start with Hayes and then Gary Smits.
Doug, how did you see Miles's coverage on the PI from your vantage point and any replay you saw?
They told me that it was a hold that when the ball went in the air, it turned into a defensive pass interference. I couldn't see early on in the route, and I had a bad view of it from where I was. But that official, the back judge, should have a great view of it. So.
And what'd you learn about your team today?
I don't. I mean, that's just that's. I mean, I know this team. I feel, like I said, I feel close to this team. So, I think I look at this game as hey, I know the things that, we've all got to do a better job of, that we can really help them out. And, they can, we could all come together, coaches and players, and, work our butts off and play football and make plays that, we're able to win games. I think that's what's going on. I think, as far as all the other stuff, all the cliches that, you might want to say, hey, they came back, they worked hard. I never question that from this team. I really don't. So, the unselfishness that they have, this doesn't matter. I mean, they're trying to celebrate with each other and trying to get somebody to make a play every time. So, like I said, we've got to just clean a couple things up and, want a quick turnaround.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Hayes. Let's go to Gary and then Jamal.
Yeah, Doug, could you walk us through what the intention was on Josh's squib kick at the end of the first half and what he might have told you or Joe on the sideline?
I didn't see him on the sideline, because I was more concerned about how we're going to manage, the defense and knowing that, they got great field position. But, there's a lot of things, there's going to be a desperate play at the end. There's going to be, there's a lot of things that can go on. And we just felt comfortable during the week that, we have it in every week where we just power kick it through. And, we knew we were going to power kick it, which way we were going to go. And, there's distance between those two players, and he's got to get in between it. I mean, he's a guy that works his butt off. We have confidence in him, and it's just one of those things that it just wasn't executed right. It wasn't like trying to make something happen or anything like that. He just didn't get into the right area.
Okay, and give us a quick comment on James Robinson. He really that second half, he was really a spark for you guys.
Yeah, I thought even the first half, a couple of those runs, they almost came out. And he's getting positive yardage, and he had really good catch. And I think what you guys are seeing now is probably what I've been seeing all the camp. Just real steady, good football player. If something's there, he's going to find it. He's not gonna make mistakes and lose yardage for you or things of that nature, and try to keep the chains going. He's a tough runner. He's got a little burst, getting through the second level. I was happy to see him take that one, obviously to the end zone. But, he's solid. And you look at what Chris did on the route, that was an unbelievable catch by our other running back. I mean, that was outstanding, to score a touchdown there. It was a great throw. And those are just some of the things, like I say, some of the good things that, we need to try to create more of that and just do a better job.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Gary. All right, let's go to Jamal and then Mark Long.
Hey, Coach, obviously not the ending that you wanted, but I mean, this is a young team that was down early. Did you learn anything about your team's resiliency? You have to be happy with the way they kind of fought back throughout the game.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. I really feel close to this football team, and you can see the chemistry on the team. You can see the way they work with each other and bring each other up and keep a mindset about themselves. And it's just like I said before. I knew this in camp. I think we've got to do a better job, us as coaches, to get them off to a good start. Get them in position. So we'll work on that, because the one thing I know I don't worry about is how hard they play.
And the batted pass at the end. I mean, Minshew's a shorter quarterback. Do you guys work a lot on making sure that he doesn't have those passes batted at the line?
Well, it's a combination of being able to throw through windows, throw through arms. I think what happened. I think Tyler got held and he fell, on the play, and then we go into Cole, I believe, and the guy got off the line, you know what I'm saying, off the block. And, sometimes you can press a guy a little bit more, but sometimes you got to get through it. So it's a combination of a lot of things to, try to not get those things to happen. And then
Thanks,
trying
Coach.
to create them to happen, on our side.
Thanks, Jamal.
Hey.
All right, let's go to Mark and then John.
Hey, Doug, some of the issues you guys had, especially early, Clay Brooks with a couple of his muffs, and then Colin Johnson with the tip that ended up as an interception, wing guard coverages. Those are just growing pains by young players. Are you just going to have to deal with that maybe early on here, a little bit of that?
I don't know with Chris. I mean, that's the first time that I've really seen that from him. So I still have confidence, and we'll work a ton on it, going into the week. I think with Adam, I think, some of the, he was free man coverage, guys running across, he's at full speed. So, that's going to be tough. And, the first one, the touchdown, I thought that, we gave him too much time back there. I mean, that's difficult to cover. I think with Colin, I think, that, we could have gotten that ball maybe a little bit up for him. I think that he made a great effort in the end zone. So I think that these guys that are playing are going to continue to get better. I don't want to say, growing pains, because I really feel like, these guys can do it. I mean, they, even though they might be plays where, they may lose, and that's part of football. You just don't, everyone on that field, anyone that's ever played, is not going to win every single down that they play. And, they're going to keep coming back and creating better angles and putting them in better position and learning from it. So I think, overall, I think as our team, as we grow, we've got to learn from these things and continue to push to get better and get back on this winning side of things.
All right, let's take two more. Let's take John Shipley and then finish with Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Coach, on that third down play where Clowney nearly got the sack and it was incomplete, was it just a design to have Clowney come free off of the edge?
Who was that? Oh, yeah. Did you see the pressure? I mean, it's not designed.
Yeah.
They design it for us, So, I mean, you talking about the touchdown pass or the last one that was incomplete? Which one?
The third down that was incomplete where Clowney nearly got the sack on a Minshew. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same thing on the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? When they bring, we only have a certain amount of guys to block. When they bring more, we've got to go ahead and take care of the inside guys. So we just choose the shortest, path to the quarterback is the guy we're going to take, and he's on the outside, so he has the longest way to go. So, Gardner knows, what's going on. He knows the protection. So we know we've got to get rid of it. But that's the whole, the challenges or the chess game of what you want to say when they bring more guys than you have blocking.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right, let's finish up with Mia.
Hey, Doug, obviously the injury to Brandon played a factor, but you've been saying now for months that you hoped the offensive line of any group would be the one that took a jump this year. Just curious your thoughts on their performance, both in the running game and in pass defense.
Yeah, I felt good. I think that, like I said, those guys were battling. I think, we talked about, Tennessee having a real good, strong front seven. We're able to get some runs, get some positive yardage. There was 2 or 3, plays late, where guys were getting off blocks or coming through. I think those are things that you need to improve on. But, overall, I think those guys, I think after you lose, it's kind of tough. I don't think a position group's going to walk out of here and say, gosh, I feel, great about ourselves right now. Like I said, there's a lot of good. There's some things to clean up. But I have, those guys were battling their butts off, and I thought I think, at times they did a really nice job, and, where we had time to throw, we had some good running lanes, and, it's just like anything else. We'd like to take some of those, inconsistent plays back, but, just keep working on consistency. But, their group, they'll keep going. Tyler Shatley, we'll find out about Brandon's injury during the week, and, we'll see where he's at. And, but, you're talking about, we have good depth there, and a guy like Shaq goes in there, and, we expect him to play at a high level and a winning level. And I believe he did a nice job. He got beat, early on just around, they put Clowney on the inside and went after him early, but after that he settled down. I thought he did a nice job.
All right. Thanks, Mia. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thanks. Mm-hmm.
Exclusions.
Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3 to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider.
Hayes, good to go. Hayes, you're muted.
All righty. Gardner, can you kind of walk us through just the final drive and what your vantage point was on the pass deflection?
Yeah, we felt really good going in that last drive. Got a few completions. That's always good to get it started the right way. That last one, it sucks. I feel like I had a hat Keelan coming underneath, and ball got tipped up in the air. Just a bad way to lose. But, there's a lot of good, and we're going to learn from it and move forward.
What did you learn about your teammates today?
Yeah, no, you see our resilience when we're in there. But we also learned that we got to start faster, we don't need to be getting down 13 in the first place. I think if we jump out and play every quarter like we played that fourth, we're going to be a really, really good football team.
Great. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Hayes. We'll go to Jamal, and then we'll go to Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Gardner, you guys have said resilient and that there's no quit in the locker room a lot of times. And today you guys kind of put that on the field. Obviously, it didn't end the way you wanted it to. But, did you guys talk at all about that? When you got down a couple of scores, did you tell the guys on the offense anything?
No, it's one of those things that we know that's something we've built for a while, I think we, anytime we get in those situations, we don't hit panic mode. We don't start pointing fingers. We're just going to try to step up, do our job, and, support the team as best we can. And I feel like we did a lot of that on both sides of the ball today, and, it should only get better.
And I know you want to get off to a faster start on Thursday. When do you start looking ahead to that Thursday game?
Probably watch this game on the plane ride home, and then we'll be on after that.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamal. We'll go to Mia O'Brien, and after that, we'll go to Cassidy Hill.
Hey, Gardner, I know it's kind of a loaded question, but it's exactly 1 year after that last-minute Texans loss, week 2 last year. What did you learn? What was your approach in the days following that, the weeks, the months, that maybe you learned something last year that you're going to try to do differently this time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing anytime you go through something like this is you remember that feeling, how bad it feels, how close you were, and you kind of channel that and use that when you're out at practice, when you don't really feel like practicing, and you channel that when you're in games and you can come back and you can win, and how good that winning feeling is.
And I'm just curious, for you and Jay, when you sat down and you watched last week, what was there on offense that you said we need to do differently this week so that we can have, 300 plus rush passing yards like you did today?
Yeah, last week I think on some of the plays that didn't work, got out of the pocket a little early. Was pretty accurate with the ball, but they didn't really give us many opportunities to take shots. We were able to get a few more off today. So that was good. And, it's a week by week. We're going to take what they give us. As long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we could be a really, really good offense.
Thanks, Gardner.
Thanks, Mia. We'll go to Cassidy Hill, and then we'll finish with Demetrius.
Kind of piggybacking off that, was today a really good example of what Jay Gruden can do calling a game?
Yeah, no, he's great. He's going to put us in a situation to win. We had a lot of guys around the offense get the ball, step up, make plays with the ball in their hands. We're very excited to have Coach Gruden and, just to build on, the things we've done well so far.
And then in particular, the touchdown pass to Chris Thompson, how far down your progression was he? I think you started with LaVisca and Robinson in the backfield with you.
Yeah, no, he's kind of an alert right there. They're heating me up. Had a good matchup with him on linebacker, and that's a matchup we expect to win anytime we get Chris on linebacker.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassidy. We'll finish up with Demetrius Harvey.
Hey, Gardner, just kind of walk us through that first interception where Colin and I think James was kind of right in the area. What did you see there and sort of what happened?
Yeah, I was throwing James on that corner, kind of flattening him off. And I don't blame Colin at all. He went up, he was trying to make a play. It was just super unlucky, man. Felt good with the ball, felt good with the decision. It's one of those deals. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gardner.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, and look, there's not a whole lot of practice time. You stick to the basics, and might we see Tua maybe this week, maybe not on a short week, but look, the Miami Dolphins are not exactly lighting it up with Ryan Fitzpatrick, so I'd rather see Tua. I'd make it more exciting, right?
That would be interesting, to say the least.
They're playing pretty well today, though. I mean, they were in the lead until a few minutes ago. Buffalo's up 24-20 with 3 to go.
Yeah,
about that.
Let's see the young, exciting guy anyway.
Yeah. Logs, have a great week. We'll talk to you as the week moves along here.
All right. See you guys.
Jeff Loggeman from the broadcast booth joining us. By the way, Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback for the Titans the last time the Jaguars won in Nashville in 2013.
How about that? It's a nice
been a
little
while.
piece of trivia there for you, JP.
It's now 7 straight losses for the Jags in Nashville after today's 33-30 final. Tennessee a winner over the Jags. Back with the highlights from today's game in a moment. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that means treating people better with friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting when you enter the branch. An online or phone chat for those quick questions, and a call center that's open every day. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Every 51 minutes, someone dies in a drunk driving crash. If you think it can't happen to you or that your actions won't affect others, think again. I got behind the wheel drunk and caused a crash that took the lives of 2 young women. Before you drink, have a plan and know all your options. One bad decision can last forever. Take it from me, Eric, prison inmate P22679.
This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Why do you choose Farah and Farah? First, we have the financial resources to take on any insurance company. And our track record proves that we know how to win. Our attorneys and staff are a team, and we've worked together for decades. To us, our job is much more than just a paycheck. We love to help. And this is important. We never forget. It's not about us. It's all about you. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Jaguars postgame continues. 33-30 the final. Titans over the Jaguars in week 2. Jags fall to 1-1. The Titans are now 2-0 in first place in the AFC South. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Our thanks to Jeff Lageman on Jaguars postgame, Jaguars analyst, for joining us. And we had the first word with head coach Doug Marrone earlier. Chris Thompson was in the locker room with us, Jaguars running back.
Yep.
So this was another one of those games. We talked about it, and we're going to hear the highlights here in a moment. But,
a lot of them.
I mean, down 2 scores right out of the gate today again. And, past teams around here would have folded up the tent and said forget it at that point. But so far this season, this team has showed some resiliency, stayed within arm's reach of the game, haven't had it slip away from them at least 3-4 scores where it's a blowout. And they've been in it. They won last week. They darn near won, should have won this week's game as well, and that shows you a little something.
Well, yeah, look, they're resilient, and that's been great, and they've been very competitive and all that, JP. But, I just go back to what we talked about in the postgame last week where, 1 or 2 plays made the difference in that football game, right? And especially when you got outgained by as much as you did. And you could point to one of 3 or 4 plays today, the same thing, whether it's the pass interference call or putting that one aside, certainly the kick. The very first play of the game to Jonnu Smith.
Right.
Cover the guy. I mean, you almost gave him a free touchdown on the opening drive. It was 3 plays, bam, they're right in the end zone.
A minute 38.
They didn't have to really do anything hard to earn that. So, you could go and look for 1 or 2 plays back that would change it. But you can do that a lot of times when the outcome is a 3-point football game. It's just frustrating that they had such a nice comeback. They put themselves into position to get it done and just came up short.
Fell shy today, 33-30. Let's hear how it happened, though, with the highlights. Rick Frangie with the call. And on that opening drive, it didn't take long. 3 plays, 77 yards, a minute 38, Tannehill to Smith.
Tannehill drops to throw. Looks. Fires toward the end zone. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, his second catch. And the Titans score very quickly here to start the game.
Very quickly, 7-0. The Jags on offense next possession. An interception, Christian Fulton.
Dropping his Minshew. Fires. That ball is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted. It was thrown high, it was picked off, and it's run back along the left sideline now by the Tennessee Titans. They're going to get him down inside the 35-yard line. Christian Fulton made the interception. It was thrown high. It was tipped by the Jaguars receiver, could not bring it in. Fulton with the tipped interception, and he returns it deep into Jaguars territory.
Well, yeah, very deep into Jags territory. 3 plays later, touchdown to Davis.
Play fake, dropping, lots of time, fires toward the end zone. That ball is caught for the touchdown. Once again, lots of time. Corey Davis made the catch in the back of the end zone. And a 2-touchdown lead for Tennessee.
14-zip at that point, right out of the gate today. And then the Jaguars back on offense, and this was one of the key drives early in the game to keep the Jags within arm's reach here. 6 plays, 75 yards. Minshew to Eifert for the first time this season.
Gardner drops to throw. Fires, middle of the field. That ball is caught for the touchdown. Tyler Eifert went up and got it, and the Jags are in the end zone after a 19-yard touchdown pass from Minshew to Tyler Eifert.
14-7, Jags cut that lead in half, and then another lengthy drive for Tennessee. Chason got a sack, his first in his NFL career, on a 3rd down to force a punt. The Jags had to punt it away, and then back on offense again. Tannehill finds Jonnu Smith for his 2nd touchdown catch of the first half.
Long snap count. They only send 3. Dropping, fires, middle of the field. Jonnu Smith leans it into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown, I believe. Yes, it is. He leaned it into the end zone for the score. And Jonnu Smith has another touchdown, and the Titans have extended the lead at Nissan Stadium.
Yeah, 21-7 at that point. Lambeau hit a 35-yard field goal to make it 21-10, but the ensuing kickoff, with about 12 seconds to go before halftime, hit the first line on the kickoff return team, and it was recovered near midfield. And then Gostkowski hit a 51-yard field goal before halftime, right at the final gun there, 24-10. So a 14-point lead for Tennessee at the break. Jags got the ball coming out. Obviously, they need to do something with it, and they put together a fantastic drive. Just under 8 minutes, 14 plays, 89 yards, and James Robinson gets the score.
They hand the ball off to James Robinson. A little bit of room for the rookie. Inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, the rookie, James Robinson. A 17-yard touchdown run for Jacksonville.
Yeah, made it a 7-point game, 24-17. Here come the Titans, though. Tannehill to Adam Humphries from 18 yards.
Jags get pressure, hit him as he let it go toward the end zone, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Adam Humphries made the touchdown catch. He beat Wingard. Tannehill threw it off his back foot. He let it go as he was getting hit, but it was right on the money, and it's a Tennessee touchdown.
That one was frustrating because it looked like they were right in his face. Obviously, the fadeaway throw there for Tannehill. Missed the extra point, though. 30-17 the score at that point. Jaguars get the ball. They get a big run for James Robinson on the drive of 40 yards, and then Minshew finds Cole in the back of the end zone from 2 yards.
Play fake, rolling right, rolling. Gardner's going to try and throw to the back of the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. He rolled out to the right, and he hit Keelan Cole in the back of the touchdown, or back of the end zone for the score.
Yeah, and the extra point missed there by Lambeau. 30-23 the score, so 7-point game. Jaguars defense stands up and gets a stop, and here comes the Jags for their third possession of the second half. And it's another nice one as well. And it ends in a nice way. Chris Thompson, our post-game guest, in the end zone on a pass from Minshew.
They blitz. He drops, fires toward the end zone. That ball is caught for the touchdown. Chris Thompson out of the backfield, and Jacksonville has scored again.
Tied the game, 30-30, and then some late pass interference calls a couple drives later. Kept a drive alive for Tennessee. On a third down play, Miles Jack was called for pass interference, and then Gostkowski hits a 49-yard field goal. 33-30. At that point, Tennessee with the lead. The Jags back on offense with inside of 2 minutes to play. Minshew gets a pass batted at the line, and it's picked.
Dropping his Minshew. Pump fake. Batted down at the line, and now picked off. It is batted at the line and intercepted.
And that's how the game ended. The final score, Titans 33, Jaguars 30. Frank Frangie with the play-by-play call today on Jaguars Radio. We're back in a moment. A look at the TIAA Bank stats check. Plenty more ahead. About halfway home on Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's your home speaking, and I need you to do me a couple of favors. First, could you get that blueberry that rolled under the fridge last week? It's throwing my feng shui off. Second thing, bundle your home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and we could save money. Lastly, I know you were thinking of painting the nursery back to off-white, but I'm actually feeling this baby blue. Didn't think it was my color, but I am pulling it off.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement, and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pinpoint, the official signage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, helps business decision makers like you maximize the impact of their brand. Your company's identification, advertising, and even the words you use make an impression on your clients. With Pinpoint as your coach, you can make sure it's a good impression. Pinpoint provides the creative design and production services for anything you need to enhance your brand, from custom signage to complete marketing solutions. Step up your game with Pinpoint and create the ultimate brand experience for your clients. Visit experiencepinpoint.com.
The best thing about working at Fair & Farah is all of the employees. We all work together. It's extremely enjoyable to come to work every day.
There's a common cause or goal. No matter what your job is, we're all there for the client.
We are dedicated to our clients 100%. We do everything it takes to maximize the value of their claims.
Fair & Farah is really the Farah family. When they choose us, they choose a family to fight for them and to protect them and to make sure that they're in a good place and that they have somebody on their side.
Farah & Farah. Here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Welcome back. 33-30.
We can go straight to questions if you want. We'll start with D-Rock, and then we'll go to John Reed.
Avery clearly stopping Derrick Henry with number one for the defense. Can you break down
Breaking up a little bit.
to get that done?
I didn't hear the question.
I said clearly stopping Derrick Henry was priority one for the defense. What can you break down what you guys did today to get that done?
We can't hear you guys.
Avery, I heard him. He asked what you guys did. He said priority number one was stopping Derrick Henry, and can you just talk about how you guys got that done?
We just committed to the game plan. I mean, coming up here, you know what Tennessee is going to do. You know who their bell cow is. And it really just come down to a commitment by every player on this team that's going to say we want to stop the run. And I feel like we try to come out here and accomplish that.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to John Reed, and then we'll go to Jamal.
How you doing, Avery? Can you just talk about some of the issues? You guys look like you had a little issue getting pressure on Tannehill, but you kind of buckled down a lot better in the second half. What was the game plan as far as putting so much concentration on the running game, and they kind of did some things? Did it do things a little different or anything like that today for you guys in preparation?
For us personally, I feel like every game you go in, you always want to try to make a team one-dimensional. So, we know we want to stop the run with Derrick Henry, but we want to stop the run with every team to get on the pass. As far as the pressure on Tannehill, I think we just got to do better getting off the play action blocks and things like that. I think this game was probably a little locked in a little bit too in the run, kind of buried our eyes and kind of worked out late to work against the pass. But I think that's just how it is with every game. I think moving forward, we're going to just try to focus on that more because I really think that was a real big part of the game. I think our DBs will do a good job, but we just can't leave them out there covering for about 6 to 10 seconds. So we got to do a better job of getting off those blocks.
Any quick comment that you could make about being in the locker room for the second week for the anthem?
This is a decision we made as a team. We talked together. We had the leaders and captains come up and pretty much just speak about how we want our voice to be heard. Then we took it to the team to see if they agreed about what the ideas we came up with. We did it week one. Everyone said it was okay. We have some people say they wanted to do some things different. Talked again as a team, decided to stay in this week, and probably moving forward, we might do a little bit of things to make sure everyone's comfortable moving forward. But everything we do as far as staying in for the anthem or anything against social injustice, we're doing as a team.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, John. We'll go to Jamal, and then we'll go to Gene Fournette.
Hey, Avery, the defense seemed to kind of get into a groove a little bit late. You got a couple of stops when crunch time when you needed them. How does this defense, get started a little bit early? You guys found your way in the Colts game a little bit later on after giving up a few drives. How do you get started earlier playing like that?
I think it just has to be a mindset. I think the 2 weeks have gone by. It's been a little bit of a trend. What I've been noticing that teams come out to us is going to be tempo, it's going to be run, it's going to be boot. And so as long as we get the mindset that we know how teams are going to attack us and go out there and make the right plays to get off the field, that's continue what we're going to see those first 15 plays. But other than that, we just got to come out ready. I feel like if we come out compete from the very beginning, we'll do a lot better for our offense, and we won't have to put so much pressure on them.
Do you feel like the defense as a group has that mindset to be ready to go?
Yes, I definitely think we do. I think it's just having it and doing it is two different things. You know what I mean? One of the things I'm proud about the defense is that when we have these slow starts, there's no pointing fingers. There's nobody turning on each other. We're just trying to lock in, make the coaching adjustments, and we're just trying to make sure we make enough plays to give us a chance to win the game.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jamal. We'll go to Gene, and then we'll go to me after that.
Hey, Avery, did you notice any sense of frustration at all on the part of Myles Jack after he was called for what appeared to be a pretty controversial pass interference call on the game-winning field goal drive?
Yeah, of course. A lot of us don't believe that was really a pass interference, but ref's gonna make his call. Myles is I wouldn't say emotional, but he's very passionate about this team and about this game. So definitely he's gonna let it show after an important play like that, especially with the game on the line.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Gene. All right, we'll wrap up with Mia.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're still on mute.
I do that every time. The hand versus the mute, it happens. I'm just curious. Obviously, Jonnu Smith really got off to a fast start. The tight end position wasn't something necessarily the Colts used to exploit you guys in last week's game. What did you guys change in the second half, maybe, and why do you think he was able to be as explosive as he was early on?
I think just with that first play, just having to be in first play of the game, definitely thinking of setting the tone early and then them showing run. I think we just kind of, all downhill, wanting to stop Derrick Henry, wanting to stop the run. And I think that just was a good play call because he was too play side. So, I mean, you could run down play side to stop the run, then you see the boot, everyone's moving towards the quarterback. I mean, all he has to do is really hide out and just come out late to get the play. I think that was a pretty good first play call by them. But I think as the game went on, we just made sure that everyone in the back end communicated, make sure we was on the same page so we wouldn't just have any easy bombs come and hurt us.
And one last quick one, only because as the longest tenured player on this team, you've been through some losses. You've been in the locker room after them. How does this one compare?
This one is a lot better than past years. I mean, this is a team that's come in that's wasn't really expected to do much today by outside forces, but we didn't really buy into that, stayed as a team and kept fighting. And then afterwards, we didn't really take, what's the word I'm thinking of? Pleasure, I guess, and try to get more victories and saying we only lost by 3 and things like that. We looked at ourselves and kind of said, like, what was the problem? Like, what made us lose this game? And then we just came down to it. It was really just, assignments and penalties. I think if we cut out half of those penalties, I think we would have been a much better game. The offense was doing a tremendous job. And then defense was starting to lock it down and more in that second half when we needed it.
Thanks, Abe.
Great. Thank you, Avery.
Yep.
Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. And congratulations to the undrafted rookie, 16 carries, 102 yards, a touchdown, and had a little work in the passing game, as you mentioned, Tony. And he deserves it. This has been
Yep, we're good. Cool. All right, we'll start with questions. We'll go to Hayes and then go to John Reed.
Hey, DJ, good to see you. What has Jay Gruden meant for you guys?
He's a cool guy. He don't get on to people. He know everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and he plays to them. And, he has confidence in us, and we have confidence in him. And he's been obviously helping us out a lot. This is the first time in a while that we've been able to move the ball efficiently. And I think it's due to a lot of different just changes and mindsets on the team.
Does it seem like he fools the defense more than what you were accustomed to your first couple of years in the league?
Do he do what?
Fool the defense more?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say fool. I think he just knows, he understands the coverages, he understands what they're trying to do, so he counteracts that. So if they're in cover 2, run the ball, things like that. Or, if they jumping outside, inside routes, things like that, just taking what they give us. And sometimes he puts some, I don't want to say trickery, but misdirection, make their eyes go one way and go back the other way. He does do that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Hayes. We'll go to John Reed, and after that, we'll go to Jamal.
How you doing, my man? You guys were down 30-17. Can you just talk a little bit about the resiliency on this football team, particularly in a situation like that? Because, years ago, I mean, you guys might have not have played the way you played today. Might have been over. I mean, what's different?
I think, honestly, we feel like, we can go toe-to-toe with anybody. It doesn't matter. Our offensive line is going to move people off the ball. James going to run hard. Our receivers are all capable of making plays, and they understand that we expect plays be made every time the ball is in the air. It's our ball or nobody's ball. And, and Garner's out there making great decisions. I think it's just the mentality that we have, whether it's 30-17 or it's a tie game. We understand that we can only control what we can control when we're out there on the field. And I think that helps the offense a lot, but that also helps the defense to know that in years past, when we get down, it's kind of like a snowball effect, but they know even if the team do score, we as an offense have the potential to go score too. So you just go out there and keep playing like every drive is a new drive.
Thank you, John. We'll go to Jamal, and then we'll go to Gene Fournette.
Hey, DJ, you've been with the Jags for a few years now. Do you feel like this is the most explosive offense you've been a part of in Jacksonville?
Oh, definitely. We have a lot of guys that's capable of making plays, like I said. You can have, the Ricky LaVisca come in and run the ball as well as go out there and catch the ball. That takes, the defensive coordinator have to, prepare for that. And then you add guys like Cole, Chris. You also have Colin that comes in and make big plays and have the potential to make big plays. It takes a lot of stress off of me for sure. And it just feels good because, if I'm out there and if it's not my game, if I'm just not having a good game, I know that my receivers are going to make plays. The running back is definitely going to make plays. He's running through the hole. My lineman moving people. So, it gives you more confidence and takes a load off everyone's shoulder because it's teamwork now.
Now, how do you guys get off to a quicker start? I mean, you guys were getting off to some slow starts last season, and then now they've kind of carried over into this year. I mean, you got a game coming up Thursday. How do you go out there in that first drive and find a way to put up points?
Execute. Just run our routes, run our protections, and execute, I don't really know any other way to, start off fast. Or I don't think it's the play calling or anything like that. We just have to execute. But, it's week 2 of not having the off season. This is our first time as a team really getting to compete against people, and we're the youngest team in the NFL. So, it's going to be some slow starts. I expect that. But now I think the more we play in the way that we've been finishing, it gives us confidence to start better because we know we can do it.
Thanks, DJ.
No
Great.
problem.
Thanks, Jamal. I know DJ has to get to the bus, so we'll just finish up here with Gene. Gene, you're still on mute. All right, we'll finish up with Mia O'Brien.
Thanks, David. Hey, DJ, you were on the field last year. You caught the touchdown that would have been the game-tying one if the two-point conversion worked last year, week 2 against the Texans. Gardner leads a comeback there. Describe for me, as that game-winning drive happens, what you saw from your quarterback 1 year later, what you saw from your quarterback down the stretch today.
Last year, we was just out there competing. I think the difference now is we have a method to what we're doing, because we're all a year older. And so I think that's the same with him. He has an ideal of what we're trying to do. And he understands the defense, which is why that those last 2 quarters, we was able to move the ball. We understood what we could do to get open. We understood. And I also feel like he has more help now. So he don't have to go out there and scramble and make every play. He know he can drop back and deliver the ball, and we're going to run our route at the right depth, get open, catch the ball. So trying to take just a little bit off of his plate so he can play with more confidence. And I think that's what he's doing.
And speaking of growth, week 1 to week 2, James Robinson, what did you see from him?
Oh, no, he's our running back. He's running the ball between the tackles, and you have to respect it. And as long as he's doing that, we're going to be on the outside blocking. And he makes blocking fun, because you block him for 2-3 seconds, then you see him running by you. So it makes you want to go out there and get you a pancake or something.
Awesome. Thanks, DJ.
No problem. Thank y'all.
All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Basil of Basil Plastic Surgery and Wellness. I'm a proud veteran of the U.S. Navy, and during my active duty time, I had the amazing privilege to serve our country and those who were wounded in combat. Helping my patients return to a normal life, I was able to provide an unparalleled level of care, which I've carried over to my own private practice today. As the official plastic surgeon of the Jaguars, I invite you to visit us at patrickbasilmd.com and would like to wish the Jags best of luck in today's game.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers with pay ranging from $16 to $25 an hour and more with commercial experience. Superior Fence and Rail will train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
PRI Productions, the Southeast full-service event company, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com and learn more. Final segment of Jaguars postgame, 33-30, the final. Titans over the Jaguars. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and here come the Miami Dolphins to town Thursday night.
Yeah, just don't assume that they're going to be pushovers either. They were very competitive today. They got down early, but they fought back and ended up being 31-28 that they fell to Buffalo. So, they gave a pretty spirited effort there. Devontae Parker was unsure if he was going to play. He did. He got into the end zone today. And, we'll see. They're going to come in hungry, itching for their first win. They're going to think, that they can go toe-to-toe with this team. And, we'll find out on Thursday night. But I think, let's put it this way. If the Jags have found a way to win this game, they're 2-0 in the division. I think everybody picks them against Miami on Thursday. They may anyway. I just think Miami's a little bit tougher than the 0-2 record indicates so far.
Okay. Well, I mean, they showed something today for sure. They've got Fitzpatrick back there, a veteran quarterback. They've got a youngster in the wings waiting off for his opportunity, but doesn't feel like it's going to come anytime, at least early in this season, the way Fitzpatrick plays well.
Right. Certainly not on a short week. You wouldn't expect it to be the case. But, I'm sure they'll get Tua in sooner rather than later if the season continues to, pile up losses. For them. Interestingly enough, Justin Herbert, who was the third quarterback selected, started today for the L.A. Chargers. They're currently up 7-0. Herbert ran in the lone touchdown in that game so far. So that's where things stand on that one. But, we'll see. I think the Jags have an excellent chance to get to 2-1 on Thursday night, JP. No reason to think they're not going to be toe-to-toe competitive with these guys. They just can't fall behind early. Don't dig yourself a hole. Start better defensively. And, maybe start quicker offensively. I don't know which one, you know what I mean?
Both would be preferable.
Right. But
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it took a while for the offense to get going today, and when it finally did, it seemed like it was unstoppable in the second half. Get that going in the first quarter, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. And, don't fall behind. This team, not really built to overcome 14-0 deficits, at least right now, although, they did it today, and they put themselves in position, just couldn't close the deal.
Thursday night, the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday Night Football, an 8:20 Eastern Time kick. Tickets available in pods, 633-2000, or visit jaguars.com/tickets, and we'll hope to see you Thursday night. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is coming up next. NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks will join us and take your calls. Senior VP of Communications is Dan Edwards. VP of Production is Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive producer is Dave DeCandis. The manager of radio is Joe Fortunato. Tony Smith and Linda Fortunato are producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, and Max Hockman produce our shows for Jaguars.com. For Jeff Lageman, Mike Dempsey, and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Titans 33, Jaguars 30 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This is the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome into the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks coming up. Jags fall today in week 2, 33-30 the final. They got down early, couple of scores, fought back, kept it within arm's reach, tied the game later, 30-30. But some of those costly self-inflicted wounds that Doug Marrone talked about came back in a 3-point game. You're giving up a field goal before halftime and missing an extra point. There's part of the difference right there.
It's going to be interesting to see how fans react to this one because they were competitive, they were entertaining, but there are no moral victories in the National Football League. You had a chance to be 2-0 today in the division, huge. But if you're one of those fans that maybe thought they were going to be, one of the worst teams in the National Football League this year, you can see growth in different young players. That gives you a lot of hope for the future. It doesn't help you right now when you drop that one at the last minute to Tennessee, but I think there are a lot of good things to build on today.
Bucky Brooks joining us from Los Angeles, California. Bucky, how are you, man? What's up?
Man, I was doing great until we fell apart at the end, losing by 3 points. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good effort from the Jaguars, and I think there are a lot of things that the team can build on going into this Thursday night game against the Miami Dolphins.
Bucky, what did you make of the pass interference call against Myles Jack there? It looked like the Jags had him off the field on, I think it was 3rd and 8, and he did have his arm draped, but it didn't look like he was necessarily impacting the play. What did you make of the call?
Look, I thought it was ticky-tack, especially given the fact that the officials have a mandate to only call the clear and obvious. I don't know if there was an obvious PI. And look, it hurt the Jaguars during that moment because they were off the field. It was one of the rare instances where they were able to get off the field in a critical down. And so, look, that hurt them because they were able to convert it to a field goal, and then we go back and not able to return in kind. So, yeah, it was a big play.
Huge play. Gardner Minshew today just continues, man. I mean, he kind of rallied this offense early in the second half, and that's what Gardner is. Like he finds a way somehow to get things done. It may not be the prettiest, Bucky. He may not be 6'5" and 225, but he found a way to get this team back in the game today.
He did find a way to get the team back in the game. And I'm beginning to come around on Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
Like, a lot of what the perception is on Gardner Minshew has to do with the fact that he was a late round pick. He was a 6th rounder. And because many of the experts, the observers, didn't see him as a franchise quarterback, a little late to give him credit. But when you watch the game and you watch how repeatedly he made a mistake early in the game, comes right back and responds with a terrific drive. Then when the game is on the line, they need to go down the field. He continues to make every play. Now, we can argue about the last play because it seemed like things were a little hectic. There were some clamors for, should they spike it? Should they continue to go on? And they'll learn from it. But I think right now, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive staff and you know how tough it's been to score points the past few years, the way that this offense is rolling without, I would say, star-studded guys, look, man, you got to give a lot of credit to the quarterback because he's finding a way to get it done with everybody.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the undrafted rookie running back as well, Bucky. I know you will, but, pretty solid debut last week, and he really built on that over 6 yards a carry today. And fortunately, they were able to get back in the game in the second half and keep him a part of that offense and keep that balance. But James Robinson was impressive today.
Very impressive. The touchdown run was really impressive. I think the big thing about the Jaguars and the way that they're playing offensively, they're still trying to stick to their identity. They want to be a balanced team. Even when they were behind, they got to passing, but they stuck to the run. Robinson's ability to run the ball, run it effectively in between the tackles, Chris Thompson's ability to make some plays as a runner and receiver, and even trying to incorporate Laviska Shenault as kind of a gadget guy. Those things are working. Pretty impressive because I think last week when we watched them against the Colts, we were like, hey, that's great. They're probably playing off the momentum. But this was against a very good Titans team, a Titans team that we expect to be a playoff contender. For them to go toe-to-toe with the Titans on the road, I think is very, very promising.
All right, we've got plenty ahead. Your calls ahead as well. 355-NFL1 is the number, 355-6351. We'll take a timeout and open the phone lines. After this, J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Oi.
Bonjour.
Xin chào.
Добрый день. كيف فينا نساعدكم?
¿Cómo te podemos ayudar?
If you have an accident, the last thing you should have to worry about is a language barrier. That's why at Farah and Farah, we have a team as diverse as our clients. So no matter what language you speak, we'll fight for your voice. Farah and Farah, here for you.
نحن هون للكل.
Ici pour vous. Aquí para todos.
Here for all. Jacksonville.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville. For over 20 years, TIAA Bankfield has teamed up with Siemens to provide a next-level game day experience for Jaguars fans. From lighting, safety systems, and keeping our fans cool, to helping power up our massive video boards, Siemens solutions ensure our venue stays in peak condition. Now with their powerful cloud-based software solution, MindSphere, sensors in our field monitor moisture, fertilization, and temperature data to get to the root of the problem before they become real problems for our turf. Just like our team, we're working together to unlock our potential and get the win. Siemens, ingenuity for life.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey in Jacksonville. Bucky Brooks joining us on the West Coast. Jags fall 33-30, the final. Titans over the Jags in Week 2. The Titans are now 2-0, first place in the AFC South. The Jags fall to 1-1. By the way, the Dallas Cowboys rallied today. wild rally at the end of that game to knock off the Falcons. 40-39 the final score.
Weird
Crazy.
onside kick as they hit a little dribbler. And I think the Falcons thought it's not going to make it 10 yards, so that nobody touched it. And one of the Cowboys just followed it the whole way and just fell right on top of it. I mean, it's so hard to get an onside kick anymore. And they had to have it, no timeouts left with about a minute and a half, and went down and won it.
They were down 20 in that game, which is crazy. Bucky, strap in and hang on because the phone lines are open after a loss. And this is the first time you'll be on a show after a loss, a losing result for the Jaguars. 355 NFL1. What you got, Mike?
All right, we got Saqib on the south side, going to bat leadoff today. Saqib, you are on the scoreboard show. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Hey, Bucky. Can I ask you, question, man. Honestly, I want to know from you because you played in the NFL. Do you think what you have seen so far that Gardner Minshew is a long-term answer for the Jaguars? I know it's too early. I get it. I just want to know that. And why is this defense been so horrible under our defensive coordinator? Because I think he needs to go because I wanted him to get fired last year, but he's not the right fit for this guy, for our defense. And I just hope that they make some kind of change because our defense is horrendous. Thank you, guys.
Well, first question, the answer to the first question, I begin to believe, like, when you begin to see Gardner Minshew do it week after week after week, that is who he is. And if you go back to last year and you look at the level of consistency and performance and the fact that he hasn't had a full offseason or preseason playing with a new offensive coordinator and the first two games have been solid, yeah, I'm beginning to believe that he may look like the answer at the quarterback. He has to continue to do it, but right now it looks promising. In terms of the defense, I think the problem with the defense is the league is too good for you to sit back and rush 4 and drop 7 if you're unable to get a pass rush from your front 4. And then if you're going to blitz, you have to make sure that your guys can cover. And right now that combination hasn't worked for Ty Washington. So it's just difficult because right now it's been a 7-on-7 game for quarterbacks. And I just don't know if the Jaguars are good enough to play that style consistently and win games.
All right, thank you.
I mean, it's a good point because there's so much youth in the secondary. It's hard to ask those guys to cover when you're bringing extra guys all the time.
I do think Todd Wash is blitzing more than he has.
I agree
pretty
with
much
that.
at any time that he's been the defensive coordinator.
Well, you got to remember too, in the time he's had as the defensive coordinator, especially the last few years, he's had some big time names on the defensive line that can handle that.
There still have been instances where I think Jaguar fans have gotten frustrated by the 4-man rush that doesn't get home, and why aren't you sending more heat? It seems like in every big crucial situation now, he's willing to sell out, maybe because he doesn't feel like he has the guys in the back end right now that can cover that long. But whatever reason, I do think he's been more aggressive this year to start the season.
I agree with that.
Saqib, thank you for the call. We'll head up to Nashville right now. Adam is checking in from Tennessee. Adam, you're on the scoreboard show. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Hey, I love you guys' show. I get to catch it a couple times a year when we play you guys, but heck of a quarterback y'all got, man. I did not know most of the players that were playing on the Jaguars team today, but he made it work with them, man, and I was just super impressed. And I'm a 21-year Titan fan, and that is the scariest Jaguar quarterback I've ever seen. I wasn't worried about Brunell, Garrard, Leftwich, any of them, but there's just something about the stash, man. He's really organized in that offense, and it doesn't really matter who he has playing with him. So, yeah, I think you have a bright future with that kid. I like him.
I was expecting like, but and then the next comment. But wow, how about that?
I don't. I'm trying to think back exactly 21 years ago. Mark Brunell was a pretty good quarterback in the late 90s, right there, 3-time Pro Bowler. But that's all right. Look, I think Bucky, that just goes to show you that. Like you are getting more exposed to Gardner this year. I think fans around the league are getting more exposed to him and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe this guy's not just a great character. He's a guy who can really have some staying power.
I think the way you measure your franchise quarterback is when he runs onto the field, do you have hope that he is going to take us down in a critical moment? When Gardner Minshew got the ball at the end of the game, what was the feeling that you had? Did you feel hopeful and optimistic that he was going to find a way to lead us down the field and win the game? For me, coming off of the way that he had performed, I felt like, hey, there's enough time, 1:30. The Jaguars have more than enough time to make it happen. And look, it was a batted ball. It was a freaky interception, but that ball is completed, you're beginning to think, oh, they're going to be in field goal range soon, and maybe he's able to make a play. So I think if your feeling is, look, our quarterback, if we give him an opportunity, we have a chance to win the game. That feeling permeates the sideline, and if the defense feels like that, that's when you know that you have a special guy.
I think it's a good point because you never felt that way with Blake Bortles, for instance, right? I mean, even when he's putting up all those points back in 2015 and all the touch, you didn't feel like when the chips were down, you could count on him leading you down the field. And I think most of us do have that feeling. I mean, I think we all sat around here, JP, and no timeouts. There's plenty of time. He's going to get him in field goal range.
Even though he stayed in bounds and then the other guy stayed in bounds, the clock's ticking, tick, 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 tick.
Wasn't worried until the ball actually got intercepted, honestly,
right,
that they'd have a chance to tie
Even
it,
with that happening, it's like, okay, this guy's got a shot.
All right, thank you, Adam. Let's head up to Chicago. Sean is checking in next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Sean.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Long way from Jacksonville, but I've been a Jags fan my whole life. Just wanted to talk real quick. I know the last call, or 2 callers ago, talked about the defense and, what's kind of been going on with them. It just seems that the first half, maybe 3 quarters, the defense is just giving the offense whatever they want. The rush 4, drop 7 doesn't seem to be working, especially when receivers and tight ends have 7-8 yards of separation, and there's nobody within 7-8 yards of those guys. So I'm just curious your thoughts on what you expect moving forward. If the defense continues to perform like this, these first 2 games, going back to last year and really every year with Todd Wash when they don't have big names on the defense, but what do you expect for Todd Wash in the future if they continues to perform like this? Thanks.
What do you think, Bucky? I mean, slow start again today. Second straight week, actually, that it's happened the first 2 drives, but what do you make of all that?
Slow start, but I will say this. Coming into the game, the reason the Tennessee Titans are tricky is because you have to make a decision. Who do you want to put the game on? Do you want them to force Ryan Tannehill to make plays, or are you comfortable letting Derrick Henry run like crazy? I think the emphasis, based on the way that Derrick Henry had performed in the last 4 games, was to make sure that he wasn't a factor. And for the most part, the Jaguars did a great job of containing him. Now, when you sell out to take him away, you're now asking Ryan Tannehill to go make plays, and he made a ton of plays. And so I think at the end of the day, you feel good about the run defense because we've all said that is the biggest thing. We can't have Derrick Henry running up and down the field. And so they didn't allow that, but they did give up too many plays. And I think the main point of emphasis that they have to get done over the next couple of days, they have to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down. On the money down, the defense has to find a way to make plays and get off the field. You alluded to Todd Wash dialing up the pressure more, which is evident, but now they got to find a way to get off the field and make a couple more plays on 3rd down.
There you have it. Let's come back. More of your calls ahead. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. The number, the lines are open. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. This is the Scoreboard Show after a 33-30 final. Titans over the Jaguars on Jaguars Radio.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Slot right, blue 42, hot, hot. A great quarterback is a true leader with a work ethic that never wavers and a desire to win that is second to none. We know a truck like that. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck 43 years straight. With impressive towing and payload, Ford F-150 makes tough jobs look easy. Visit your local Ford dealer for great offers on F-150, official truck of the NFL. Based on 1977 to 2019 calendar year total sales.
For over 20 years, TIAA Bankfield has teamed up with Siemens to provide a next-level game day experience for Jaguars fans. From lighting, safety systems, and keeping our fans cool to helping power up our massive video boards, Siemens solutions ensure our venue stays in peak condition. Now with their powerful cloud-based software solution, MindSphere, sensors in our field monitor moisture, fertilization, and temperature data to get to the root of the problem before they become real problems for our turf. Just like our team, we're working together to unlock our potential and get the win. Siemens, ingenuity for life.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about commercial fence services, from automatic gates to security fence and railing. Superior Fence and Rail's professional team delivers with great communication, trained installers, and quality products. Trust your next commercial project with a top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. Get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your commercial project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Jaguars Game Day is presented by ViStar Credit Union. If you believe no car payment for 90 days is better, join ViStar, a standard feature on new or used car loans. ViStar never forgets. It's your money. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. The Scoreboard Show continues. The Titans over the Jaguars. 33-30 the final score. Jags now 1-1. The Titans are 2-0, and the phone lines are open 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get back out this time to the west side. Buddy is next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Buddy. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks.
Real good.
Hey, and I don't know why the team would be like this, but something I've noticed, especially, for home opener and this game, the defense comes out the first series, and they just look like they are not in the zone. Almost look like when they hit the field, they're ready for defeat. And then, obviously, it takes some time to kick in. Is that something that does anybody else happen to notice that? Or, I don't understand why that happens, and that because I'm the only one seeing that. But, I'm glad they kick it in later on in the game, but it just looks like we start so flat both games this season.
It's better not kicking it in at all, I guess, right? I mean, at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't characterize it that they're ready for defeat to start the game, but they have. I mean, we pointed out they've started slowly both weeks, and they've got to overcome that either with faster starts on offense or a combination of not letting the other team go right down the field. Bucky, what do you make of the demeanor of the defense early in the game here?
Yeah, it just takes them a while to settle into the game plan, it appears. It appears that other teams, when their offense starts on their opening script, because most teams script their first 12 to 15 plays, they're kind of able to get the young Jaguars out of sorts. And then after they come to the sideline a few times, the coaches appear to have a way of settling them down. And then they get to playing the way that they're expected to play according to the game plan. So we can look at it as, the coaches do a great job of making adjustments shortly after they get a feel for how the other team is playing, but they do have to do something in the beginning to get opponents out of their rhythm because they can't keep digging themselves out of holes and expecting to win games.
Let me ask you this. When A.J. Brown's not playing, right? Obviously, you've got to focus on Derrick Henry, and they want to start out getting Derrick Henry rolling. So you're, maybe susceptible to play action, but you've got Jonnu Smith and you got Corey Davis as the main two guys. How does Jonnu Smith get that wide open on an NFL field on the very first snap of the game?
It's really unexplainable, especially when you don't have A.J. Brown on the field. Coming into the game or coming into the season last year, A.J. Brown and Jonnu Smith were two of the most productive playmakers on play action. And so that the Tennessee Titans run play action is the basis of their passing game. It had to be discussed in meetings that we have to keep our eyes on 81. And for him to get open the way that he was able to get open, to me is just someone falling asleep at the wheel. They did a good job of slowing him down and neutralizing him for most of the game. But even then, too many plays for Jonnu Smith, too many plays for Corey Davis on those gotta have it downs. We have to do a better job of tightening up and making sure that we make the compliments win the game, not the main players.
Is that a safety issue on the back end? Is it a linebacker issue? Is it a combination? I know you haven't had a chance to really dig in too deep on the tape.
I mean, it's JP. It's a little bit of a combination, right? Because you kind of switch who is on whom. Sometimes the safety you take Jonnu Smith, sometimes the linebacker. I think the bigger thing, the safeties and linebackers in the middle of the field, Jacksonville, we got to do a better job of controlling the middle of the field. And we want to dictate where the ball is going. And so if you're saying, hey, let Corey Davis have his game, but let's take away Jonnu Smith. When you take something away, you have to make sure he is not a factor. Make somebody else win it. Take Derrick Henry away, take Jonnu Smith away. If Corey Davis has a 200-yard game and they win, then what you do is you tip your hat and you just say, hey, it's not our day today. But you can't let stars win the game.
All right, thank you, buddy, for the call. Let's get to Leo in Mandarin next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Leo.
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. Listen, I wanted to say something. I'm not going to sit here and, jump up for joy with enthusiasm, but I will say this. I've noticed a big improvement offensively with this football team. Now, I'm not going to get overly, excited and overzealous or anything, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's a few games I'd like everybody to pay attention to. Now, the last couple of weeks, Jaguars have scored 27 and 30. They're 57 points. They're averaging 28.5. Now, look, Green Bay is running away with it, BTW. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. They've scored 42 points in the last 2 weeks. Now, listen, but as far as the AFC goes, because a lot of NFC teams are scoring big, but look at the AFC. Check Baltimore, because they scored like 38 last week. Check Kansas City. They scored 34, and also the Raiders game tonight. Listen, if those guys stay within that 57 point to 60 points, I think this Jaguars team may be pretty good because I'm looking at how they can score points. Now, our defense and Tard Wash, they need a lot of things to clean up. I think the pass rush, no pass rush is hurting them. But offensively, hey, man, I think we can. Tennessee's a good defensive team, and to put 30 on that team, that's speaking volumes. Y'all can disagree with me if you want, but I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting here all excited and thinking Super Bowl. I said this earlier. We ain't getting Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how many games this team can win, but I like what they're doing on offense. We're averaging 28 points a game. We used to average like 19 or 20. That's a big jump. So y'all have a good night, man. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you.
It was less than that, wasn't it?
What's that?
No, average points per game, wasn't it? Less than 19? Yeah, it was 19 would have been generous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It was a good look. Great if they can keep this up. Nobody's going to complain about 28 points a game.
No,
I don't think. That'd be fantastic. We'll see if they're able to. But this is a Tennessee team that Denver was a little bit beat up on Monday Night Football. They were missing a couple of guys going in, and then they lost Phillip Lindsay in the game. But they held them to 14 points, and Gardner had him going up and down the field here, particularly in the second half. And the offense is off to a good start. And I would agree. If they're able to score 28 every week, they're probably going to win more games, Bucky, than a lot of people predicted. That's the question. Will they be able to keep up that pace?
It's funny because the next two games are Miami and then Cincinnati after that.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So realistically, without being crazy optimistic, there's a chance that the Jaguars could be sitting at 3-1. Which would be a major surprise.
Sure.
And a 3-1 record based off of the offense playing well, I think you would be really, really encouraged. The thing about Jacksonville's offense that makes it a little difficult to contain right now, they don't have a number one. Like, you don't really know who the go-to weapon is, and it kind of changes in the middle of the game. Laviska Shenault gets going. All of a sudden, you see Keenan Cole. Then, here comes Chris Conley. Then you pop up, by the way, DJ Chark is still a playmaker. And so because you have so many guys that are making contributions, it makes it tough for the defensive coordinator to say, hey, here's what we need to do. Here's how we need to stop it. And I think Jay Gruden let us in on this. He said he wanted to spread the wealth offense. And when you hear coaches say that, you're like, yeah, every coach says that. But after 2 weeks, that's kind of been the way the Jaguars have been going. And so it's hard to stop a team that is really balanced in terms of the way they distribute the ball.
Looking at, 8 different guys had catches today for the
10
Jags.
last week.
10 last week. That's spreading the wealth, Bucky. No doubt about that. Did I hear you say the Jags are going 3-1? Is that a lock? Are you ready to lock that, Bucky?
I mean, I think we can lock that in. Now, Thursday night is going to be a tough one just because Miami plays man-to-man all day. So this will be the first time that offensively the guys on the outside, they have to win down after down. Miami's typically a team that's going to play man-to-man 55 to 60% of the downs. So now can Garner wait on his guys to get open, and can the guys get open? Can Jay Gruden in a short span, can he create some rub routes and some things for the guys to get open? But if they are able to wear out the Miami Dolphins defense, I really feel good about what they can do against Cincinnati.
All right, you heard it here first. 3-1.
There you go.
Bucky Brooks. Put it on Twitter.
Lock it in.
Let's make it official.
I messed up. I didn't wear the lucky shirt the other day on happy hour.
See?
And we lost, so now I got to go back. I got to go back to wearing the lucky shirt. I was trying not to be superstitious, but I'm gonna have to go back.
Well, we're this is important. This is what it's all about. The superstitions. Let's come back. More of your calls ahead. We've got another half hour to go. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3, to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Chantel Baker, fiance of DJ Chark. Enter for your chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime experience with the Jaguars. Imagine being selected as a Jaguar for the day with prizes including the opportunity to test your skills with the Jaguars team trainer, a personalized Jaguars jersey, club-level tickets to a Jaguars home game, and more. Look for details at Publix where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Tide, Bounty, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that means treating people better with friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting when you enter the branch, an online or phone chat for those quick questions, and a call center that's open every day. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the large format printing services running in high gear, creating large banners for marketing events, full vehicle wraps. Learn how Kessler changes the game with print and direct mail innovation. From eye-catching restaurant menus to real estate yard signs and event displays, Kessler does it all. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Scoreboard Show continues 33-30. The final, Titans over the Jaguars in Week 2. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks with your calls. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We're here until the top of the hour when the fifth quarter show takes over. What you got for us, Mike?
I've got more on the line here. Locally, Daniel in Mandarin's been waiting the longest. Daniel, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, buddy.
What's up, guys? Listen, I'm super pleased with the offense and Jay Gruden and Gardner Minshew. I mean, they let us down a couple times, but man, that defense and whoever's call it was or whatever happened on that onside kick at the half, it was just atrocious. I mean, we come down there, we miss an extra point. We should be up by 4. We should be winning this game. This is a must-win game. We should be up 2-0 in the conference, leading the division. It's just despicable. And it's like, if you're going to tank last week, not this week. I mean, we should be winning this game. This is a must-win game, and I'm fed up. And it's just terrible.
All right, thanks for the call. And Bucky, right before halftime, the squib comes. Let's see, how much time was on the clock there? 12 seconds, something like that. It wasn't a lot, but what? Did you agree with the squib? Do you kick it deep? What do you do there, Bucky? If you're calling that play?
Well, I mean, I think it obviously depends on your special teams unit, but you can't have what happened right there. Like, ideally, if you like the squib kick, you want them to squib. You don't want them to kick it right to the front line member and give them a short field. JP, Mike, that was a huge play, and it was a huge play at the time because you gifted the Titans 3 points, and then you turn around and you miss the PAT. And I don't think enough has been made about the missed PAT because it changes the dynamics of the game at the end. Because when you score, now you go up 1, you change the way Tennessee has to play and how they have to react. And so Josh Lambo has been solid since coming over. But, man, those 2 plays in key moments, they really hurt the Jaguars, really hurt the team.
Yeah, they did today, and it's hard for me to get too hard on Josh Lambo because he has been so spectacular since he's been here. But
solid, man. He makes kicks.
Oh, he's been more than solid. He's been phenomenal. But I don't know if that was just an execution error on the kickoff. He was obviously upset. They showed him on the TV replay a little bit after that, so I'm sure he blamed it on himself there. But, even if with the extra point, Tennessee missed one as well, so you kind of feel like, all right, you don't expect to miss one, but you gave them 3 points right there. I mean, there were so many of those things, though, JP. We're talking about, hey, if you could hold them to a field goal here, if you can score a touchdown instead of settling for a field goal, there's so many opportunities late in that first half where they could have been a lot closer, but obviously they weren't. Daniel, thank you for the call. Let's stay in Mandarin. Darren in Mandarin is up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Darren.
Hey, Demps. Hey, man, I don't know that I've been more disappointed in a loss in a while. I mean, that was really hard to swallow. As much as the young players played again from last week, really played well, I just felt like that the coaching staff put this team in a couple of positions. One was the squib kick, and then Gardner's a 2-year quarterback. Why didn't they just tell him to spike the ball and gather the offense together? We were not that far from Lambeau's range. And spike the ball, it's a 4-down game no matter what. Spike the ball. We got plenty of time. I'm going to put this on the coaching staff, not on this young squad.
All right. Thanks for the call.
What do you think about that, Bucky?
It's tough, right? Because I heard the announcer saying, hey, spike the ball. But then I'm looking at the time. I mean, man, it's a minute and some change left. There's no need to give away a down and make it 3rd and 1. So I was like, I get it. But maybe with a young quarterback, because he had run and was kind of hectic, maybe you do want to spike it so he can just take a breath, calm down, and not have to make a play. But hindsight is 20/20. I felt like they were doing right by continuing to push the pace. But he had an interception, so look, we'll second guess it because of the result. But I felt like the process was pretty good.
Right. I think, look, if he doesn't get the ball, if the ball doesn't get batted straight up in the air, if it gets batted down, then it's the same as spiking the ball. If Lambeau executes the squib kick, then you're like, all right, well, you don't even think of it. You never think about that play again if he executes it, but he kicked it right off a guy. So, and again, could it have gone another way? Had they spiked it, maybe he throws an interception on the next play. Or maybe they run out of time with a couple of seconds left that they don't get back, or maybe they run out of downs.
Or maybe they throw a deep bomb touchdown.
Maybe they do.
You never know.
You don't know.
It could go the good way, right, Bucky?
Right.
Come on.
It could, but then
go the good way,
then maybe Tennessee runs the next kickoff back for a score too.
That's true. I mean, my glass
We'll
is half
keep going
full,
here.
Mike.
We're going to keep going.
My glass is half full. Just like Bucky. Bucky is – we do the Wednesday show, Jaguars Happy Hour. And, we haven't worked together a lot, but this is the first few weeks we're doing it. And his glass has been half full the whole time. And I think for the most part mine is as well. But I've had my – in training camp, it's a young team trying to think through it and see how this team's going to go. But now my glass is half full on the Jaguars because Bucky led the way. He blazed the trail for us. Thank you, Bucky.
I think a lot of it depends too where they go from here, though, right? I mean, you got.
Oh yeah.
If you go out and beat Miami and Cincinnati, you look back at this loss and say, man, maybe we should have had it, but it showed how tough and competitive we're going to be this year. But it's one that you let get away. So capitalize against the Dolphins coming in this week. That's all you can do.
That's right. And that's it. That's the next thing on the plate. And that's the way Doug Marrone, talking to him this week, I know we lost this game. I'm going to guess what he'll say this week, right? Yeah, we came close. We had some self-inflicted wounds. We're a young team trying to work on those things internally, and we're going to move on to next week. And we're an 0-0 team. He's probably going to say that this week. We're 0-0, and we're playing at home, and we're trying to win a football game. But that's the approach you have to have with a team that hasn't done it before, Bucky, that might not know the difference. Just go out and play the next game.
I think that's it. Now, the thing that changes is in the two games prior, the first two games of the season, the Jaguars have been the underdog. No one has really expected them. The next two games will be the first time that there are expectations that come along with the Jaguars, because I would think that most people would probably pick the Jaguars against Cincinnati for sure. But I think most will maybe lean towards Jacksonville versus Miami. And so that's the first time that you come in as the favorite. So does that change the approach? Do you feel a sense of pressure because now you're expected to win? How do you call the game? How do you perform the game? That's the big thing. And so as we're looking at this team over the course of the year, we're looking for them to reach milestones in terms of their maturation. Are they mature enough to handle being the favorite? So if they're the favorite team, can they come out early, jump on an opponent that they're better than, and win the game the way that they're supposed to win? That would be the next step for the Jaguars. We've seen them compete in games that they're either not supposed to win or maybe it's even-steven. But now, can you go out and win a game that you're expected to win? That's the next step in their process.
Let's come back in a moment. One final segment to go. And still time for your calls. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number 3330. The final score today. Titans over the Jaguars in Week 2, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Hanania Subaru of Orange Park would like to present our new dealership with over 13 acres of vehicles to choose from and our new online buying program, iBuy. You decide how much of your buying experience you do online. Browsing, value your trade, picking your payments, financing. Just go to SubaruofOrangePark.com, pick out your vehicle, and click iBuy to begin. Become an iBuy preferred customer at Hanania Subaru of Orange Park, your local Subaru superstore.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're hitting refresh now, palm trees swaying now, letting loose now, busting a move now, cranking up the beats now, hands in the air now, feeling free now. You're on Tropic time now. And right now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe, try our watermelon mojito and guava margarita smoothies. And you're tasting fruity now, sipping sunshine now, toasting summer now. You're on Tropic time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together on game days with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAABank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag Selfies for Change so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us on game days at TIAABank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Chantel Baker, fiance of DJ Chark. My fiance is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. I'm always looking for easy ways to save time, and Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties and sizes of Tide Pods or Tide Liquid Laundry Detergent are on sale for $12.49.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Now more than ever, the Jaguars want to recognize our fans and everything you do to make football, well, football. As part of the NFL Fan of the Year contest, the Jaguars are searching for one extraordinary Jaguars fan whose positive influence inspires others in Northeast Florida through their love of the game. You can win a trip to Super Bowl 55. Visit NFL.com/Fan of the Year now to nominate yourself or others for a chance to win.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, Scoreboard Show. Final moments here. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks after a Jaguars loss in Tennessee, 33-30 the final score. And the Houston Texans are playing in the later window today, hosting Baltimore. The Ravens lead the Texans 20-7 with 16 seconds left until halftime. But the Texans, the Texans have the ball inside the 40 going in, trying to get something done before the halftime break. So we'll keep you posted on that game if anything happens before halftime. How about some more calls before we get out of here?
At least one more at 355-NFL1. That's Pierre next up on the Scoreboard Show. Pierre, go ahead.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Long time no here.
Well, that's not our fault.
That's what happens when you have a 9-month off season.
What do we have to do with that? I don't know.
It's all good. I just want to talk about, why are we still playing like from behind? Because it seemed to be like the same thing that would happen last year. We'd get off, and the team will come out slow. When can we finally get going? You know what I'm saying? Because we got a short week because we got the Dolphins coming up. What does the team need to do to get off to a fast start? That's my question to you guys.
Mike, I can't wait for you to answer this question.
I'm not going to answer this question.
Why not?
Well, what can they do to get off to a faster start? Play better defense in the first quarter? Be more efficient on offense? I mean, yeah, we've
talked about it all night.
This is the NFL, man. Dallas got off to a 20-0 deficit today. Do they care? No, they came back and won the game, right? Had the Jags won the game, yeah, you can sit there and go, it's tough to put yourself in a hole, for the first couple weeks of the season. It's been 2 weeks, though. Let's see how it goes. This is not the whole season hasn't played out. And, we've pointed this out repeatedly. They need to not let the opposing offense get rolling early on and dig themselves these holes because it's taken a while for their offense to hit stride. But when they do, it's been really good. Bucky, what do you do to get off to a quicker start here, knowing what you've got here on Thursday night?
I think there are a couple of things that you can do in practice. One, I think you have to really work on the opening script. When you have such a young team, you have to, at the beginning of the game is when they're most nervous. So what you have to do is you have to rehearse that part of the game so they can get comfortable with, here's how we're going to start the game. These are the first 10 to 12 plays on offense that we're going to do. So they know it, it's repetition, they get it. And so as they begin to lose some of the butterflies, they can execute because they're doing the same things that they've been asked to do in practice. Defensively is finding a handful of defenses that they're very, very comfortable in or that they execute really well. And early in the game, throwing those defenses out there so they can have success because they know what they're doing and they're playing fast. I still believe without the preseason, the coaches are still learning how all these young guys tick. And as we continue to get down the road, they'll get better starting the game out fast. The coaches still don't know who they have, and the young guys still don't know how to acclimate to the pro game.
Excellent points, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other phone calls?
I think that's it.
That's it. All right. The phone lines are closed. 355-NFL-1 will get you in on Thursday night. Late night after the Jaguars win over the Dolphins.
But that means Sunday off to celebrate 2-1.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Look forward to that.
Right.
So, Bucky, well done. We'll talk to you on Wednesday on Jaguars Happy Hour, which will be our last program before the Jaguars Thursday night game. Should be a fun one on Thursday Night Football this week.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
All right. Bucky Brooks joining us from Los
Thank you,
Angeles.
Bucky.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later in the week. Dempsey, we've done it again. We've done 2 hours of radio.
We've closed out the show.
We have. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We didn't do anything last week or this week to impact the outcome, however, unfortunately.
That's
wish we could have. I think I would have liked to have tried the squib kick myself. I don't think I could have done any worse at the end of the half.
That was a struggle.
That's one NFL play I think I could pull off, the squib kick.
Well, it unfortunately went the wrong way
today.
33-30 the final score. The Titans over the Jaguars. The Jags are now 1-1. They'll host the Miami Dolphins Thursday. 8:20 is the kickoff time. And we hope you can join us here at TIAA Bank Field. Pods of tickets available. 633-2000 is the number. Or visit jaguars.com/tickets. The fifth quarter is coming up next. If you'd like to call, their phone lines will be open at 1010XL. Thanks to our entire crew, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and thanks to you for listening. I'm JP Shadrick. We'll see you Thursday night for the Jags and the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.